Hello and welcome back to my kitchen again because it's freezing cold outside. Well, actually it's literally just gotten over freezing. It's now 33 degrees outside. And I'm here in Eastern North Carolina. Many of you around the country are been in freezing temperatures for quite a while. Today, being so cold outside, is a perfect day to talk about seeds. And I know I did a video last year and that was sort of like a teaser, or it was sort of my thinking as to, hey, you're getting all these seed catalogs and now's the time to start shopping, figuring out what you want. Well, I've done my shopping now. So this is my seed haul video. I've done my shopping, but before I did my shopping, let me just talk real brief about what I did preparing for my shopping. So of course, in the prior video, if you haven't seen it, you can go back and watch it. Some of you new subscribers subscribe to the channel because of that video, which thank you again to all my new subscribers. The channel's growing. It's great. I'm not talking to myself. That's always a good thing, and it keeps me from being thrown into a straitjacket in the funny farm, if they even do that kind of thing anymore. Anyways, so one of the things I did, and I think I mentioned maybe in that video, I'm not even sure I mentioned that video, was I have several bins that I keep my seeds in. These are metal bins that I purchased over at Gardener Supply. By the way, nothing in this video is sponsored. There's no sponsorships in this video. If any of the companies that I mentioned today would like to sponsor me, that'd be great. Also, I want to make a note that if you go and look at the links below this, in the description below this video, you'll notice that some of the links say affiliate link next to them. That's basically, I have an affiliate with that company. If you click on that link and purchase something through that link, then I get a small commission at no charge to you guys. So if you buy a $2 packet of seeds, I get like 2 cents out of it. If you place an order for $200 worth, I think I get $2 worth. It's a very small percentage, but it all goes to help the garden, helps me to grow the garden. I have big dreams of what I want to do with this garden, and my credit card only stretches so far. So if you'd be so kind, check out those links below. Again, not all the links below are affiliate links, but the ones that are labeled affiliate links, and they don't cost you anything if you purchase something through them. Now, on with the show here. So I have a couple of tins, and like I said, each of these containers I purchased through Gardener Supply, and one I have labeled for flowers. All my flowers are in there, and the other one vegetables. Now it's vegetables and herbs, that kind of thing. It's edibles. I really should call it edibles maybe. Either way, it's labeled vegetables for now. But inside each one, what I did basically was I've gone through each of the boxes and I created little dividers. I had some already. I had to create a few more. I put little P-Touch labels on them, and then I just simply organized both of the containers. Now, during the process of going through both of the containers, I got rid of empty seed packets that I had in there. I got rid of seeds that were more than 3 years old. And now I had a better understanding as to what I had before I started purchasing. So in years prior, and many of you may do this, you just go, I think I have this, or I think I have that, and you start going through the seed catalogs, and the next thing you know, you've ordered $200 to $400 worth of seeds. It's not that difficult to do, believe it or not, because as you're flipping through the seed catalogs, you go, ooh, that looks pretty. Ooh, that looks nice. Ooh, that looks pretty. Ooh, I'd like to try that. And next thing you know, you have fairly sizable boxes coming to your doorstep. So, and then you have an overabundance of seeds. And this is one of the things that's happened to me, is that I have gathered an overabundance of seeds. So this year when I made my purchases, it was nowhere near as dramatic as prior years because, well, I'd done my inventory, I'd gone through, I'd seen what I had. So for instance, I went through and I found out that I have a lot of sunflowers. So I only purchased one packet of sunflowers this year, and it was very unique, and we'll touch on that when I start going through what I had gotten. But there was no need to go out and purchase yet even more sunflowers when I have so many sunflowers already. And I'm going to try to grow as many of these as possible this year, because, well, I have a lot of them, and otherwise it's just a waste. And there's some really nice ones in here. I'm going to try to put as much as I can into the vegetable garden this year and grow as many different types of sunflowers as possible. Zinnias is another one. I have lavender, I have pink, I have orange, I have more pink, I have queen lime, I have more queen lime, cherry queen. I have a lot of zinnias. So I only purchased one packet of zinnias, and it was, I believe it's an all white zinnia. When we get to my orders, we'll look at that. But there was, again, no need to purchase so many different types of zinnias. And trust me, there was a lot of zinnias in the catalogs that I wanted to buy, but I restrained myself knowing that I already have so many. And I also want to touch on the vegetables that I purchased. I purchased very little new vegetables. It's so easy as you're flipping through those catalogs to say, this, I want to purchase this carrot and that carrot and this carrot, and then you have five or six different types of carrots, and you have 3 different types of a broccoli or pumpkins, or it's just, again, so easy to get carried away. And I went through my, again, bins, and I just sorted it out, purchased very little, and we'll touch on what I did purchase. And going through these also then opened my eyes to some of the things that I have or already purchased that I haven't grown yet. There's a lot of unopened packets in here that I've purchased from a couple of years ago even that if you don't grow it, it's a waste. So you can either give it away to somebody or throw it in the trash or whatever you're gonna do, but why buy it if you're not gonna use it, right? And then the other one big thing I want to grow this year, which I didn't have to purchase, but I did spend a lot of time collecting, was the gladiolus seeds. So if you remember from last year, I spent a lot of time, or maybe, did I do, I'm pretty sure I did a video on this. Can't remember if I did, but I spent a lot of time collecting gladiolus seeds. The wife and I have decided to devote an entire raised bed to trying to grow gladiolus. Now, if they do take, and from my understanding is gladiolus they don't have a high germination rate, which is probably why each of the flower stalks has like 500 seeds. But I'm gonna oversaturate the bed. We're gonna do our best to grow gladiolus, and if even half of this entire bag, which there's got to be thousands of seeds in here, grow, then hopefully we'll have fresh gladiolus corms to plant out into the new flower beds, not this spring, but the following spring, maybe, or in the fall. The fall, maybe. We'll see what grows. I've never grown gladiolus from seeds. If you've grown gladiolus from seeds, please leave a comment below. But this is one of the things we're going to try this upcoming year. Now, what did I buy? So I went through the seed catalogs I'd gotten. I did not purchase something from every single seed catalog, and I don't purchase from just one company. So for instance, I don't purchase everything from Johnny Seeds or everything from Burpee or everything from Select Seeds or et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You kind of get where I'm going here. I do like the Blue Lake 47 bush beans that Burpee sells, so I'll buy my bush beans from Burpee, but I may like Johnny Seeds for carrying a certain type of carrot or pelletized carrots or something else. And then of course, certain companies like Select Seeds have varieties of flowers that none of the bigger companies have because their whole thing is growing rare and unique and heritage type of flowers. So I went through, and what I did for today was I have this old cardboard box, which is like perfect for putting all the seeds into, and we'll just go through what I did. The other thing I did, and I know everybody's got their own little methods, and maybe this will help some of you, but after I made my purchases, because you normally get an email receipt for the purchase you made online, I turned around and printed off all of those receipts. And that helped me this year keep track of what did I purchase, from whom did I purchase, and when did I purchase it. I've tried doing other methods like spreadsheets or putting things into a calendar, and it just didn't really work for me. And this method, as funny as it seems, did actually work well for me. So I just went and I printed off, what did I purchase from M.I. Gardner? What did I purchase from Burpee? What did I purchase from Select Seeds? And this way I can keep track of what's what. The other thing that's good about this is I can go back and I can look at some of the orders and go, didn't I order something from somebody that maybe hasn't shipped? And instead of trying to search through all my emails, again, I can just go to this folder and I can look through and I go, oh, that's right. I have a dahlia outstanding from Burpees or somebody. I did buy a dahlia through some company, which I can't remember whom at this point, but it was super cheap and I couldn't pass it by. So anyways, so let me show you what I did buy this year and then what I hope to grow this upcoming year, because I'm not going to grow everything that I have, although I'd like to. Space and time is a limit. So the first company we're going to talk about is Southern Seed Exchange. I've never heard of them before. I did not receive a catalog from them. I stumbled across them by late night seed shopping. And very interestingly, this company sent just a single packet. Just a single packet. And it's a nice folded packet here. Doing this one hand here. They have all these individual little plastic baggies. So that's really unique. I've never seen a company do that. But from my understanding, is this southernseedexchange.com. So they're more of a mom and pop thing. And I guess this is how they decided to ship out their stuff. But I got lavender hit coat. I'm going to try to grow lavender yet again. I've had mixed results down here, and we can talk more about that later on. Sweet William Dianthus. And let's see, never seen this before. Maybe this is how I stumbled across them. Agapanthus. So Agapanthus seeds. I've tried collecting Agapanthus seeds before, and I don't think I've had very good results in either collecting or growing, but they had Agapanthus seeds, so I'm going to give that a whirl. That's going to be one of my fun projects. I do like Agapanthus, so I'm going to try to grow them and see if they grow. Awesome, and if I can, obviously plant them out this year, that would be awesome as well. We'll see what happens. Carnation. Now, I do have a carnation in the ground that actually seemingly has survived all the freezes that we've had so far. That's out in one of the front beds. But in case that doesn't survive, this one is Grenadine Rose. So I'm going to try to grow that variety and see how that works. If the carnations will be perennial for me down here in growing zone 8B, 8A, whatever, then again, all the better. And it's a lovely little flower, and I do enjoy the color. And then another carnation apparently, and this one is, I can't even pronounce the name. If I remember, I'll put it right here, but it's weird. So a couple of different varieties of flowers there from this company, Southern Seed Exchange. Yellow Torch Tithonia, otherwise known as Mexican sunflower. I got these from Pine Tree Seeds. These are the only seeds I purchased from Pine Tree Seeds. They're a great company. It's a little mom and pop business again. And I don't think I've ever really seen the Yellow Torch Mexican sunflowers sold anywhere really else. So I picked them up, and I will try to grow a few of these as well as the traditional red yellow or orange yellow Mexican sunflowers. And I'll be putting them in a different location in the flower garden this year. We'll talk more about that at a later point. From So True Seed, I purchased a couple of things, and one of them was Black-Eyed Susan Vine. Now that I'm going to try to grow along the top of the fence in the front of the flower garden, because in front of the flower garden I'm going to try to start growing my boxwood hedge. Now it's going to take 5-6 years to fill in. Front of the veg garden looks sort of bleh. So to decorate it and dress it up, I'm going to try this Black-Eyed Susan Vine and see what happens. Hopefully the deer don't eat it. Also from So True Seed, I'm going to try to grow this year, and this is a big one. And if you guys have grown this before, let me know in the comments below. But turmeric. I have a bag full of turmeric rhizomes here. I'm going to try to grow them and see what happens. Again, I've never grown turmeric before, but if you guys have grown turmeric before, any words of advice or suggestions, please leave those comments below. From Burpee, I purchased more sweet basil because I've grown sweet basil in the past. It's slow to bolt here in eastern North Carolina, which I appreciate, and I do like the flavor. So sweet basil is, and I ran out of all my sweet basil seeds, so I had to replenish my sweet basil. I'm going to try to grow a Gaillardia, Arizona Sun. I've never grown that before, so I'm going to try that. And Salvia Big Blue from another company that I discovered with late night shopping that I did not receive a catalog from, and I believe it's called Hayfield. And if I remember, again, I'll put that link over here. This is Carolina Lupine. Now, I've tried growing lupine here before, and I'm going to try again this year because I have the seeds, so I'll try a couple of plants. But they don't really seem to take, and I'm not sure if it's just the heat and humidity, or it's just the heat. I'm not sure. doesn't seem really to take down here. It can get to about 5 foot tall, and it puts out tall stalks of yellow flowers. 25 seeds, I'll give it a whirl and hopefully get some success, and hopefully get some tall, beautiful plants out in the flower garden and also in front of the house. I know a lot of you people out there love M.I. Gardener. I started a business a few years ago selling seeds, which I thought was fabulous. I haven't really paid much attention because a lot of my seed buying needs were filled by other companies. Burpees, Johnny Seeds, Select Seeds, etc., etc., etc. A lot of people do like M.I. Gardener, so I thought, let me take a look at his stuff. Let me see what he's got, and does he have anything that maybe the others don't have, or that I want to try growing this year. And sure enough, I stumbled across that he did have, that I haven't really seen anywhere else, and that is a gourd mix. He has, it's called Cornucopia Gourd Mix, and it's those decorative little gourds that you may see when you go pumpkin shopping, and they charge like $5 to $7 or more for some of these decorative gourds. And we always look at it and go, oh, that's really nice, but I'm not going to spend the money on something I'm just going to basically throw out or whatever. And just so for $2, I'm going to try to grow some gourds. And again, cross my fingers and toes, they grow well. And if they do, great. And if at the end of the season we wind up throwing them out, it was only $2, and it's not, I don't think of it as a waste, because they'll go into the compost bin and it'll just help create more compost. And I don't know about your garden, but my garden you can use all the compost it can handle. So not really going to be a waste. The decorative for $2 to get a bunch of decorative gourds around the house, awesome. And I can give them out to friends and family so that they don't have to go spend money on the $7, $8, $10 gourds. The other thing that I got was Jubilee watermelon. I didn't intend on buying Jubilee watermelon. It's a large watermelon. I had no intention of buying it, but I just did by accident. And Sugar Baby watermelon, that one I did intend to buy. It's a small round watermelon, quite delicious, quite sweet, and I can grow that in the raised beds without a problem. The other thing I purchased was Howden pumpkin, and the only reason I did that was because my current supply of Howden pumpkin seeds were basically out. And I figured while I was at M.I. Gardener, why not pick up a pack? Especially, his prices are also very, very low. So if some of you are very familiar with him, others may not be. M.I. Gardener, check it out. Then the other nice thing that they did, which I only know of one other company that really does this, was you get a freebie pack of seeds. In this case, it turns out to be salad bowl mix. So I got a free salad bowl mix of seeds, and maybe I'll plant them up in the springtime. The next company here is my favorite to go buy flowers from, because they have such a wide variety of flowers. So I got myself some Blue False Indigo, Rose Campion, let's see, Salvia Vatican White. Now I think I have some Salvia Vatican White, so that may have been a mistake. Oh, no. I tried growing Salvia Vatican White last year, but the seeds wound up getting eaten by mice in the garage. I'm not seed starting in the garage this year on the seed starting station. It's not happening. The mice flip the plastic lids off and they go in there and eat all my seedlings. Sweet Rocket White. I've never really grown that, so I'm going to give that a whirl. African Daisy Polar Star. Agastache Rose Mint. I did get a few successful plants out of the packet that I had last year, and I'm going to try to grow a few more this year, just to help fill in gaps if I need it. Agastache is wonderful for all the bees and the flies and all that other stuff. Wild Primrose, never grown that before, want to give that a try. Agastache Licorice White. Now that's one that I again tried growing last year in the garage, in the seed starting station, but again, the mice devoured my seeds, so that's never good. Poppy, I got Quiz Bowling Ball. I don't even remember what that looks like, but I got that QIS Bowling Ball. So I got that, and I'll be putting that outside. Verbena Sensation White. I had no idea that verbena comes in white. So apparently it does. I will be trying to grow that this year. Hopefully it grows. And then, of course, the one zinnia that I did buy this year, which I mentioned, is Polar Bear. And that's a white fluffy one. So it's very nice. And that is my Select Seeds order. Now, you may have heard me mention them in some of my previous videos, and that is Botanical Interests. Kevin from Epic Gardening, he wound up buying Botanical Interests, I believe, a couple of years ago, and started talking about it on his channel, Epic Gardening, Epic Homestead, and I gave them a look, and I wound up purchasing garlic from them. I recently purchased the basil and the parsley for the hydroponics setup I have back here. And by the way, that's doing quite well. We'll talk more about that in the upcoming weeks. But from botanical interests, I wound up getting American Legion poppy. Can never have enough poppy, I kind of feel. Blue bonnet, which is a lupine. It's a blue lupine. And I didn't realize, but I wound up using up the last of my carrot seeds when I planted out my bed of carrots for the winter. I got Scarlet Nantes. I've never tried them before, so I'm going to give them a whirl. And I got Danvers 126 that I currently have growing. It's a pretty good carrot, not bad. I will not be growing carrots into the spring, this spring, because what I've discovered is that we get like 2 weeks of spring. The spring seems to go from winter to 2 weeks of spring to summer. So carrots don't do well in the heat. So I will be holding off on the carrots until fall and then plant them probably out in around October. And then they can ride out the rest of the winter as the ones in the currently in the raised beds are doing. The other big company that a lot of people love, and maybe it's just because I watch quite a few homesteading channels, it's Baker Creek Seeds. They do a lot of vegetables, they do a lot of herbs, that kind of thing, but they also do some flowers. And so here's what I got from them. I got Bee Balm Panama Red. It's a striking red bee balm. I used up all the Richmond green apple cucumber seeds I had last year growing cucumbers for my wife, so I picked up another packet. I got Salvia Amore Salmon. I've never seen the salvia before. And then I got the only sunflower seeds that I purchased this year, which is Mongolian Giant. This is crazy. So the heads are can get up to 18 inches across. That's 1.5 feet across and 14 feet tall. Mongolian Giant. I couldn't say no. If you're gonna grow sunflowers, your sunflowers should be tall. That's the way I feel. So I got Mongolian Giant, and we'll see what happens with them. Now, I did mention that M.I. Gardner gave me some free seeds, and they weren't the only company. Baker Creek turns around and sends you a free packet of seeds. I've gotten carrots before, I've gotten tomatoes, and this time apparently I got Japanese wasabi radish. I've never grown wasabi before, Japanese wasabi radish, never grown it before. So I think I'm actually going to give it a try. Now, I don't like hot things, but this is cool. It's, again, Japanese wasabi radish. Free stuff is always good. So that's it. That's all the seeds I purchased. Because I already have so many seeds. So there was not the need for me to turn around and purchase, hundreds and hundreds. I have quite a few agastache. I have some salvia. I have beets in here. I have peas. I purchased no peas because I already have a bunch of peas. I have a bunch of Blue Lake 47 beans, so I didn't purchase any of those. I have rosemary and tomatoes, and so I already had a lot of stuff. So I actually purchased very little. So that was good for my wallet. So now that I've talked about all the seeds I've purchased and what I have, I'm going to talk about how I'm going to work on planting them out. So a few years ago, I was surfing the interwebs, as one does, and I had gone to a site that I have been to previously called Garrett Wade. Now, Garrett Wade is not a seed company, but they do offer quite a different range of gardening tools that many other companies don't. And one of the things that they had was this sort of carry-all, and it's just a nice sort of container. And what I did was last year, I went through, and I'm going to do it again this year, but I'm going to go through all my seeds, and I'm going to figure out what I want to grow. I think I'm going to grow everything in this box, all the new stuff that I purchased, but I'm going to go through the 2 containers of other stuff that I have. So for instance, I know I'm going to be growing Blue Lake 47 beans. So because there's such a large packet, I'm going to put them onto the large side, and I'm going to go through all of my seeds, figure out what I'm going to grow, and then the next thing I'm going to do is try to figure out when to start those seeds. And that's not terribly difficult. If you've been gardening for a long time, you just look at the back of the seed packet and, for instance, lavender, I flip it over and it says, start indoors 6 to 8 weeks before last frost. So you break out your your paper calendar or your phone, and you look at the calendar on there and you go back 6 to 8 weeks from the predicted date of your last frost. So for me, it's gonna be around April 15th, and figure out what I'm gonna start and then where I'm gonna start it too. Because I will start everything in the greenhouse, but some of the seeds that I'm going to grow, I'm going to wait until after the last frost and then sow them directly into the ground. And so I'll go through and I'll organize them in this, and I'll probably, Post-its will probably come in some place where I'll mark it maybe with a Post-it, but I will stage them in here into the carryall. This year, I know I'm not going to grow sweet pea, so I'll skip over them, but I do know I'm going to grow a lot of zinnia. So I'm going to pull out all my zinnias, and I will look at the back of the packets. I think they're like 4 weeks. I may even wait until after the last frost and direct sow. So I will do that. I'll pull them out. I'm going to direct sow them, and then I may, on a Post-it or even in my phone app, I may turn around and say, okay, plant them here, 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 and here, just to sort of remind myself where it is I'm going to plant them throughout the garden. And that's it. I'm just going to sort, organize, plan, and then try to schedule, and then try to stick to that schedule. And this way I can get everything done and everything planted and everything, keep it as organized as possible, but also get done what I want to get done. So that's what I'm doing this year with my seeds, and how I'm going to process my seeds, and why, and what I bought, and why I only bought so little or so much, depends upon your viewpoint. But that's what I'm doing this year. If you guys are doing something different, something similar, if you various experiences, please leave those comments below. It's always nice to hear what certain people do, what they don't do, how they do it. And hopefully, if you haven't subscribed, you will subscribe so you can follow along with my antics and see if the gourds work, see if they grow, see what flowers I grow. And I will be bringing you along for all that. I'll probably do a couple of seed videos where I show me planting it out. But I don't think I'm going to show you all the seed planting that I'm going to be doing, because it's all pretty repetitious. It's all pretty much the same. But I will go through what I plant, how I plant it, and that kind of thing. And what I plant it in. And that's an important thing too. And that'll be in the upcoming weeks. I'll probably start some seed planting as early as the end of this month. But I've seen a lot of YouTubers recently start talking about their seeds and seed buying, and I know some of you are out there who may have already purchased all your seeds for the year, or you're still looking into buying seeds. And to be honest, I will probably run across a vendor or a seed, or see a flower someplace that I'll go, I need that, and I will buy more seeds. But this is the bulk of my seed buying, and this is what I've done. So if you guys have any questions or comments, again, please leave them below. Sophie here would much appreciate it. Don't forget to check out all the links below. If you see something that says affiliate link, don't be afraid to click it. It does you no harm whatsoever. I just get a small commission if you purchase anything through that link at no cost to you guys. No cost. That's how that whole affiliate thing works. So I think that's going to wrap it up for today. I'm going to catch you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.